Right, let's start talking about the actual Flourish program itself. It's done over 10 days, it's always live. At the moment I'm looking at doing them either every 2 weeks, although people are telling me once a month would be better. Okay, we'll go with that. So this Flourish program, it's about using the whole body. It's about using neuroscience, but not just neuroscience per se of the brain, but the whole body. It's about evolutionary psychology and what evolution has given us, and lots of other neurologies. As you've already read, it's in 2 phases. Phase 1 is the treatment. Phase 2 is aftercare. Now that usually only applies to people with addictions, maybe eating disorders, and a few other things as well. So what do I use this therapy for, this kind of work? Well, heavy addictions, weed, cocaine, gambling, porn, all of those sorts of things. Very often people are sorted in a single 2-hour session. They can let go of a lifelong weed habit in a single 2-hour session. They can get rid of that addiction to porn in a 2-hour session, or gambling in a 2-hour session. Extreme stress, anger with violence, I use it for. OCD is another extreme anxieties. Eating disorders works wonderfully with. Psychosomatic problems, and I'm not just talking about helping a bit of IBS, I'm talking about serious psychosomatic problems where people believe they can't see, or people believe they can't walk, those sorts of things. Major traumas and abuse, self-harming, and so much more. I say phase 2, I call it the rebuilder part. This is where people come in, they see you once a month or every so often just to top up. Now, personally, I never feel that they need it, but some people do, and that support should be there for them. Now, there are times I work totally content free. First of all, I should say, there's absolutely no scripts. Forget that. There is no scripts in this whatsoever. There's no set techniques as such, although you will be shown a plethora of techniques, which I don't teach anywhere else. But I have seen people who have been too shy, too frightened, too ashamed to tell me their problem. And we've shifted it in usually a double session or a single and a double session. And a lot of this work can be done with their eyes wide open. It's open-eyed hypnosis, a lot of it. They don't even feel that they're in a trance. And it replaces many sessions of old-style hypnosis in just minutes. Now I do, as I believe that we can all change our mind fast, and I've said that in other videos. Instinctively people want to feel better, and if they don't, then there's something strange going on. You see, I have this belief that, something's, let's say someone comes in and they say, I'm sure there's something happened in my past. I don't know what it is, but I just feel there is. And I'll say something like, well, is it affecting you? Is it making your life bad because of this thing that might have happened? No, I just feel it's there. Well, if you just feel it's there and it's not bothering you really, leave it. Because nature gave us this incredible technique of being able to forget. Yeah, able to forget. And if you think about the millennia that humans have been around, we haven't had psychotherapy, we haven't had counselling, we haven't had all of that sort of stuff. Maybe you talk to the vicar or the priest, but it wasn't there. And you go into naturalistic societies out there in the world, it isn't there. And they don't suffer these problems. They don't fall down, graze their knee at work, and they're not offered counselling, they just get on with life. Same as many, many people used to do. When we were hunter-gatherers, let's call them cavemen and women, and we got chased by the lion and escaped, or we had a close call with another tribe and we lived. We didn't go into post-traumatic shock. We just got on with life and got on with it. Those abilities are there. Now, it sounds like I'm being glib, but I'm not. Those abilities are there in our brain. If we've repressed a memory, if we've pushed it out our brain, if we've forgotten it and it's not affecting us, why on earth go and dig it up and release that can of worms all over again to deal with it? Excuse me, evolution's given us a way of dealing with it. It's stuffed it back there and forgotten it. And that's what a lot of these techniques allow us to do, to forget, to dissociate away from the pain. Permanently, the way nature intended. Once it's gone, it's gone. Now, this system that you will be learning, it uses whole body neurology. Now, we all just think neurology is in the brain. No, your heart's got its own brain. And we'll come back to that. And because I use the whole body, I use the neurology of the brain. You've got nerves in every part of your body. You think if you're anxious, you don't just feel it here, boom, 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 here, and I've got all butterflies in my stomach. That's not just going off up here. That's real. What's going on there is real. When you fall in love, you feel it here. It's real. And when you fall out with somebody and you don't like them, or they've done something horrible to you, that pain there, it's real. We use all that. Now, not all that long ago, someone who is serious Freudian, who happily says to me, and I was talking to this guy, he actually says to me, I'm very proud of myself. I've maintained in excess of 20 clients in therapy for over 2 years and they're making progress. Now he says what I do is woo-woo pseudoscience. I'm not really sure what I would like to actually say what he's doing. Over 2 years to sort a problem that could be done in 2 or 3 hours. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd much rather be doing woo-woo science than what the hell science. Now other therapists, for some reason, they seem to make therapy hard work, not only for the client but for themselves. Therapy shouldn't be hard work for anybody. It should be actually a pleasant experience in reality. I've known hypnotherapists say to me, oh, this work's so boring. Pardon? Why? Oh, you're reading the same scripts time and time again. Or you're waiting while someone's doing free association to make some sort of click to go for. Yeah, that's boring because nobody's really doing anything. Get over it. Stop using scripts and become a proper therapist. Now, as I said earlier, there's all this connection between up here, the massive emotions going on here, and the emotions we feel here. In fact, there's a whole new science called neurocardiology, which I'm starting to study more and more, where it's proving that we've actually got this sort of like this brain here, and this brain, it's highly sophisticated, and it has a huge effect on what's going on. In fact, the heart produces more oxytocin than was ever realised. So when you are feeling loved up, or when you are feeling that, oh God, that kid's so cute, boom, 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 that heart's chucking out that oxytocin in huge quantities. Those nerves there, they really are like brain cells. They remember. It's being referred to as the heart brain. It enables the heart to actually learn, to remember. Yes, the heart has a memory. It can make its own functional decisions, completely independent of the brain. In fact, there's so much evidence that what's going on up there is often created by something going on down here. And what do most therapists do? Ignore it. It's all in the brain. It's all psychological theory. No, it's not. No, it's not. Things that are going on here influence perceptions of what's going on. Our cognitive functions, our emotional processing. So much more than we ever realised. Now, we all know that the brain's got a magnetic field. And you see these ECGs with people like 100 little studs all pressed onto their heads tight. It's got tiny little, so how powerful it is, it's actually only got a very small electromagnetic field. But the one on the heart is 60 times stronger. Now the effects of that electromagnetic field on the whole of the body, it can be felt by the whole of the body. This up here, the electromagnetic field can just be detected by things right on your head. This here, it can be felt way out there. 10 feet, 3 meters out there, your electromagnetic energy can be felt by detectors. The brain got to be right on the head. Here, out there, 10 foot away, 3 meters away, it can be felt. Not only by detectors, but by you. Because the funny thing is, you use this all the time. You probably don't realise you do. But do you know, you could be stood somewhere and you go, is somebody stood behind me? You've not heard them, but you know they're there. Or you could be talking to someone in a room, somebody walks in through the door and you go, oh, so-and-so's just come in. Now, some people say it's just coincidence. No, it's not. You can actually detect it. Because if you think about it, if they're chucking out a magnetic field 10 feet, 3 meters, you're chucking one out 10 feet, 3 meters, you should be able to detect each other 6 meters, 20 foot apart. That's a fair old distance to be able to connect with someone. And we do. And research is demonstrating that we have this energetic communication. And yet everybody, all therapists, we think communication is blah, 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 voice, body language. But you know what? There's all this subtle stuff going off underneath. We recognise it. Do you know when there are some people pick a baby up to, you know, the baby's being a bit fractious, it's a bit upset, and they pick it up and the baby cries even more, and then someone else picks it up, boom, it quietens. It's feeling the reactions from that person. It isn't just looking at the face. It might have its eyes closed while it's crying, but it feels what's going on. This is below our conscious thought. Is it picked up here in this non-conscious part of the brain? Probably. Who knows? Well, people are trying to find out. Now, most therapists, as I say, totally ignore everything from there down. Maybe a little bit of body language they watch. But it's all about what's going on here. And evidence is showing, and I don't like to use the word holistic, but if you're going to work with somebody psychologically, you need to work with the whole of them, their heart, their stomach, and anywhere else that they're feeling those situations going on. It's subtle and should be done. Now, I've talked to you about most of the things that's covered in that course. There will be some things I've missed out, and this I'm bound to have. There'll be a lot of you out there who think, what a load of beeps. However, give it some serious thought, because we're moving forwards. This research is being done. In actual fact, neuroscience is being used in coaching quite a lot. There are books out there about neuroscience in counselling. Yeah, I won't say much there, but basically that's the neuroscience. Oh, and what we do in counselling already fits it. Yeah, maybe. I'm not going to say any more on that. But have a real good think about it, because as this research comes out, as this research develops and moves forwards, This is going to be the way that therapy develops. You can be on that ground floor. You can be in there at the bottom, but quickly rise up the pile. You could be that go-to expert in this field. Maybe your therapy, you know it needs to be better. Maybe you are not attracting the clients you want. And there are a lot of people out there, they've tried counselling, they've tried psychotherapy, they've tried old school hypnotherapy, and it's just not worked for them. Maybe they need somebody to listen to their heart as well as their brain. So use your heart. Listen to how you feel about this. As I say, listen to how you feel. Interesting words. When you've decided that you want to do this program, well, join it. The thing is, you will need to have done that responsive hypnotherapy course first, or something like it. Now, there are a few schools out there teach some of that high level stuff, and I will accept you on that basis. If you want to do this, if you want to become the leader, you want to be one of those people, the go-to therapist in your area, the go-to coach in your area, get yourself booked on. And I'll be very, very pleased to help you change the whole of you to change other people.